I lost my leg in June of 2014 as a result from my injury I sustained in Afghanistan, and I've always been really cautious, especially being around horses, and this program has shown me that just because I'm an amputee doesn't mean that I'm any less capable than any of the other veterans in this class or any of the other trainers. And with that being said, it's just been a very motivational experience, and it's been very uplifting.
I'm a 20-year veteran, Gulf War syndrome and TBI, and I lived from roughly 2003 until this course in reclusion. My property is very well protected. For those of you that have PTSD, you fully understand what I mean. The longest shot I'd have to make of my property is 223 yards, and so you'll understand that.
I was at a point where I wouldn't come out of my bedroom. I couldn't go to work. I wouldn't talk to my family. I was barely eating.
Doing research for PTSD therapies and programs and so forth, I found that the Mustang was very similar to our symptoms and what we were going through. And I wanted to challenge myself to the most that I could. So that way I could figure out what it is that's really I'm dealing with and try and get rid of it or find some coping skills.
They start out so closed off and wanting nothing to do with a relationship and learning and humans. And you just see them change so quickly.
I know I had issues with assertiveness and like with boundaries before, but really working with the horses, it's like I'm really aware of that now. So even being fearful, like in certain things we got to do with the horses, and it's just making me becoming more confident.
I am learning patience. I am not a very patient person, but Mateo has taught me that I have to have patience with him, that he's trusting, but you have to build this trust up every time you walk in the pen with him. And he's teaching me that I can't go fast, that I need to slow down and take things slower.
Through this program, we've worked with a lot of different people at a lot of different stages in their life or in their military background and history. And really what we're seeing consistently through this program is their ability now to really just get back into society.
I get excited about this program because it changes lives and it gets the Mustang into private care adoption.
I can see how it would be hard for somebody to be in a relationship with me, that I don't easily give, and the more somebody tries to force me to do something, the more I'll resist. So it's that fine line, and with a Mustang it's the same thing.
A lot of us, we're not psychologists. We just know that somebody has told us that we have these symptoms, and these symptoms are this, indicative of a certain category of behavioral issues. But other than that, until I did the research on the Wild Mustang program, I had no idea how to figure out where I was in order to move forward.
And a Mustang is a wild animal, and if you can gain the trust of a Mustang, you build your confidence, you build self-esteem. I just think it's amazing how you can take a wild creature and gain the trust of it. And it's like your horse after that.
These horses go through these roundups, and a lot of times they're split up and segregated, and they lose their foals, or they lose their herd that they've been attached to since they were born. So these wild horses have experienced traumatic events such as the same that a lot of us veterans have experienced, and it's a perfect pairing, in my opinion, to take two different take an animal and an individual that have both experienced traumatic events and pairing those two together, and then allowing those two to reassociate society and people and the surrounding noises and everything else to get over that fear.
Controlling your emotions so that you can help the horse control their emotions. That's a really, really big thing they have to figure out.
But when they get in the pen with the Mustang, it begins to happen. And it happens in just a few days, actually. Some may take a little longer than others, but for the most part, I can see it in 3 to 5 days with that horse. The horse is fearful, he doesn't trust anyone, and that is exactly where the veteran is all the time.
The horse shows you yourself through your body language, through your communication, through conscious and subconscious, posturing, positioning, and so forth. And it's hard to move forward in life if you don't know where you're currently standing.
If you meet it head to head, you'll lose. You have to open your soul to a Mustang, and there's just no better teacher in the world.
To gentle a horse that hasn't been gentle before, that hasn't been touched before by human hands, to me that was just a privilege and an honor to just be able to learn that side.
How I tend to tense up, and I have a hard time releasing the pressure on myself. So she's teaching me, in lieu of teaching her, how to build up that pressure and how to release that pressure in a safe and environment.
You cannot force a Mustang to do anything. You have to open yourself up to new ideas and new behaviors that are not comfortable for you. And I learned as much working with the Mustang as I learned about myself going through every VA anger management PTSD course over probably a 10-year period. I learned more in the last 8 weeks about myself, my reactions, my reasoning, and it's all because of the Mustang.
We see these veterans come in here, oftentimes they've just kind of shut off from America. They are disappointed, very disappointed in the Veterans Administration. This is something we hear over and over and over, that the VA is trying to heal our veterans with a pill.
You know, I don't trust the counselors to go to them. I don't really trust what they tell me. And it's much easier to talk to another veteran and hear what they have to say, and it's honest and it's raw in comparison to a counselor who a lot of times you feel like doesn't even care what is going on.
During this program, some of the greatest moments for me were when the veterans would finally accomplish something with their horse, and they look at me with this look on their face like they can't believe that they just did that. And they're so proud of themselves, they're proud of their horses. It's just, those are the greatest moments.
This program can help veterans, including the veterans with issues like with PTSD, with chronic depression, or whatever issues they have.
Oh, I think this is a fantastic program for veterans, especially those that are facing the PTSD, the anxieties, and so forth and so on, because it's really, this program is not about the horse, it's about you, the individual.
You can swap stories and it helps with your PTSD because you know you have someone there that's been through what you've been through, that's not going to judge you for what you say to them.
I've witnessed some incredible things happening just in the relationship of the veterans with their horses and with each other and with me.
This is by far better than any clinical situation, better than any medication and so forth. And my wife is even certainly appreciative of it, and she's noticed the difference since I've been here.
This program has really allowed me to do things differently.
And it has helped build my self-esteem, and it's just made me an overall happier person.
Our goal for the program would be to grow. We're currently facilitating 1 8-week session and serving 5 veterans. Ideally, we would get to the point where we have upwards of 2 to 4 sessions a year, serving 20 plus veterans.
You know, I know this isn't a counseling program, but it was just recovery and focused on me so that I could do what I needed to do. And that's priceless.
Well, I just want to thank you for this experience. To work with the Mustangs, I believe to me it was an honor and a privilege to work with these horses.
Thank you for giving me my horse, because he is just amazing. And right now I couldn't imagine life without my horse in my life.
We would love for you to get involved, whether that be financially or through sending some veterans that you know who could benefit from this program. Those are both very important to us. You can make a contribution online, or you can give us a call and we can let you know how to make it happen.
My hope for this program is that it can continue. We can help more veterans change their lives, change more horses' lives, and bring them together to make both of their lives better.
We're helping our veterans, one Mustang at a time.
You can't thank people enough for giving you your life back. It's physically impossible, because I'm not the same person that was here 8 weeks ago. Now I'm going to be able to get back out and be a productive member of society again and make friends. And I just can't say enough good things about the program.